This is the Recteq DualFire 1200 Wood Pellet Smoker Grill, and I've been cooking on it for 3 months straight. I picked it because I wanted one cooker that could smoke low and slow, and also sear like a gas or charcoal grill. From my experience, this is the first pellet grill I've owned that actually pulls that off without making me compromise on either side. I'll start with setup, because that mattered to me. It's heavy, about 250 pounds, so plan on a second set of hands or a dolly. Mine came without a printed manual, so I grabbed the PDF from Recteq's site, put it together in around an hour and a half, and then ran the required burn-in. I primed the fire pot with a handful of pellets, set both chambers to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Let it run for an hour, and noticed it cooled itself down surprisingly fast when I shut it off. The casters are sturdy and roll well on my patio, so moving it around to clean under it hasn't been a hassle despite the weight. Key features that stood out to me are the dual chambers, the wide temperature range, the stainless build, and the smarts. One chamber is for indirect heat, smoking, roasting, baking, while the smaller chamber is for direct fire grilling and searing. The controller lets me run anywhere from about 180 degrees up to 700 Fahrenheit, and I've seen the direct side climb even higher when I'm doing back-to-back sears. The racks slide out, which sounds minor until you're trying to reach chicken wings in the back without juggling hot grates. The hopper is massive at 70 pounds, so I don't worry about running out of fuel on overnight cooks. The body is mostly stainless steel, and the thick grates and heavy lids hold heat well. It's Wi-Fi enabled, so I can tweak temps and watch probe readings from my phone. But if I don't want to use the app, I can do everything from the front panel. The way the two chambers change my cooking routine is the biggest win. I can put a pork butt on the big side at 225 degrees Fahrenheit and let it cruise, while the smaller chamber is ripping hot to knock out burgers for the kids or to sear veggies. It makes dinner feel like less of a juggling act. For steaks, I've done a simple reverse sear many times. Bring the steak up gently on the indirect side with a bit of smoke, then move it to the direct side for a quick crust. Because the hot side gets genuinely hot, the sear is legit. Dark char, great texture, no gray band. Temperature control has been rock solid. A PID controller can make tiny adjustments to the auger and fan to keep temps steady, and this one does exactly that. On long smokes, my grate temps barely wander. On a windy 40 degrees Fahrenheit afternoon, I saw it dip a couple degrees when I opened the lid to spritz ribs, then it recovered quickly. If you're new to pellet grills, this is what set it and forget it actually feels like. I still use a separate thermometer, sometimes out of habit, but the built-in probes have been accurate enough that I trust them for most cooks. Pellet usage has been reasonable. At 225 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm seeing roughly a pound to a pound and a half per hour, depending on weather. When I'm cranking the direct side hot for searing sessions, it uses more, which is expected. The hopper size means I rarely think about refilling. The one thing I wish it had is a pellet dump door to change flavors quickly. If I want to switch from oak to apple, I scoop pellets out with a cup. Not the end of the world, but a door would be faster. About the app, it's useful, but not perfect. I like setting temps from the couch, and the cook's log is handy. I've run into a couple annoyances, like missing push notifications during holiday cooks, and sometimes the graph of past cooks stutters or fails to load. When it works, it's great. When it hiccups, I just default to the panel on the grill and keep going. The key is the grill itself doesn't depend on the app. The hardware and controller do their job with or without Wi-Fi. Cleaning is straightforward. I shop vac the fire pot and chamber every few cooks, more often after high heat sessions. The grease drains to a bucket that's easy to swap. The stainless grates are heavy, but they clean up nicely with a good brush while the metal is still warm. I line the drip tray with foil to make life easier, and that's cut my cleanup time a lot. After 3 months outside with a cover, the exterior still looks great. The bullhorn handles are solid, and the doors close with an assuring thunk. In my opinion, the build quality is what sets the tone for the whole experience. Everything feels overbuilt in a good way. The thermal mass and the precise controller mean steady temps even when the weather isn't cooperating. The direct fire chamber actually replaces a gas grill for me. I haven't turned on my propane grill once since getting this. And the big chamber does slow smoked ribs, brisket, pork shoulder. No babysitting, consistent results. I did run into some small friction points. Besides the lack of a pellet dump, I wish the app had a couple quality of life touches like easier access to the current cook screen and a better shutdown countdown. Also, this cooker is big. Make sure you've got space and a sturdy spot on the patio. The weight is part of why it performs so well, but it also means you won't be lifting it upstairs without help. On the plus side, customer support was responsive the one time I called with a probe calibration question. They were quick and helpful, and that gave me confidence about long-term ownership. From my experience, the temperature range claims are real. I've baked cornbread and pizza in the big chamber around 400 degrees Fahrenheit with even browning, then bumped the direct side to high heat for a steak finish. Chicken thighs at 375 degrees Fahrenheit come out with crisp skin without drying out. I've run a 12-hour pork butt overnight and woke up to the same steady temp I went to bed with. That kind of consistency takes stress out of entertaining. It's perfect for anyone who wants one cooker that can handle weekday burgers and hot dogs, but also pull off a 15-hour brisket on the weekend. If you're a new griller, you'll appreciate how easy the controller makes it. If you're experienced, you'll appreciate how the dual chambers streamline timing and let you plate a full meal without shuffling food between different grills. I'd recommend this for folks who are ready to consolidate gear. The person with a pellet smoker and a separate gas grill who wants one machine that truly does both. It's also a smart pick if you cook in all seasons and need reliable temperature control in wind or cold. If you're app-centric and expect flawless software every time, you might bump into the same quirks I did, but they haven't stopped me from loving the hardware. In conclusion, the Recteq DualFire 1200 lives up to its promise of genuine two-zone cooking with real searing power and true low and slow control. The stainless build feels premium, the large hopper removes fuel anxiety, and the sliding racks and probe monitoring make everyday cooking smoother. The app could be sharper and a pellet dump door would be nice, but the core experience, steady temps, bold sears, long cooks without drama, is exactly what I wanted. If you're building out a backyard cooking setup and prefer one centerpiece that can do it all, this has earned its spot on my patio. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe and drop your questions or your own experiences in the comments. Thank you for watching.